Hello guys and welcome to Odds on La Liga. We have now 3 games left and Atletico is still topping the table. So let's analyze these midweek games with Alvaro Romeo, of course, and with you. So leave a comment below in the comment section and you will have the chance to win a £10 free bet with Novibet. And do not forget to click on the like button if you enjoy our video, subscribe to our channel and click on the bell to get all the notifications. And now let's go on with the show. We have midweek games in La Liga and the title race is so exciting, Alvaro. We saw 2 draws in Atletico Barça and Real Madrid Sevilla. Still everything to be decided.
Absolutely, Edu. Hello. And I am loving it. I think that this title race is the most exciting in many years. I cannot recall any more exciting title race. I think that everyone has still a chance. I would discard Sevilla from the equation. Barcelona has it difficult, but still their calendar is easier than anybody else's. And then Real Madrid and Atletico, they are, first and second. And in my opinion, Real Madrid is the favorite to win the league, just on the basis that Atletico's calendar is very tough because they are playing against Real Sociedad and Villarreal.
Yeah, this week actually they are playing against Real Sociedad, so let's analyze now game by game, starting with the fixture. We have on Tuesday Osasuna Cadiz. We are talking, Alvaro, about 2 teams that we have to put our hats off because they are already safe. They've made an amazing campaign. Cadiz in the first half of the season, Osasuna in the second half of the season, and now they are in the middle of the table, completely safe and still picking points. Osasuna picked a point from San Mamés, 2-2 with that goal scored by Budimir, and Cadiz beat Huesca at home. So here we can see that Osasuna is favorite because their last 2 home games were victories and they are undefeated in the last 4. So actually they are strong when they are playing in Pamplona lately.
Yes, they are, and I think that Osasuna is one of the most improved teams of the second half of the season. Hats off, as you said, to Álvaro Cervera's Cadiz. They have done a terrific season as well. Both they are going to stay in La Liga one more year. For this game, I like a few odds here and there. There is a good chance to make money, in my opinion, in the both teams to score market. I tell you why, because I do know that Osasuna and Cadiz are not particularly prolific, all right? Osasuna has scored 33 goals in the league. Cadiz has scored 31 in the league, yeah, I know that. I am fully aware of that. But Osasuna, since they are safe, they have scored in 3 of the last 4 games. And they did not score against Real Madrid, which is something that you could define as predictable. Cadiz, they have scored the goal in the last 3 games. And away from home, they have a decent scoring record as well. They have scored in 13 of their last 17 away matches in La Liga this season. So the both teams to score is my favorite market here. That pays 210. And let's don't forget that these teams don't have anything to play for. So they're going to be happy going forward and probably they are going to be a little bit less aware defensively. A home win, I could back it as well. That pays 216. And if you want to get a really good value, why not to think that an Asian handicap -1 for Osasuna is a possibility? That pays 345.
Well, 2 teams that are relaxed, playing in Pamplona, 2 teams that need the victory to be out of the relegation zone. Elche, Alaves, Elche. They lost with the Real Sociedad in the weekend, back-to-back defeats for them after the defeat also against Atletico de Madrid, but at home they are good. Alvaro, in the last 7 home games, only that defeat against Atletico de Madrid and then missed a penalty in the very last minute, whereas Alaves got a point against Levante after the terrible defeat against Eibar. It looks like Calleja's hype is over, no victories in the last 3, but still I'm surprised to see that Alaves is favorite for this game.
They are favorite for this game. There is, as you will see, good value in the home win, the draw, or the away win. Therefore, I'm saying that I like the odds for this game because whatever you choose, you are likely to get a good return. Look, this is going to be a game in which I'm going to back the following. The draw in the first half is something I fancy here. That doubles up your bet. And I don't think that this is an unlikely thing, considering that these teams, they are playing for their lives, but first and foremost, they will play this game with a lot of defensive awareness. So the draw in the first half is good enough. I think that then probably Alaves will try to score because they've got a negative head-to-head against Elche, and this counts at the end of the season. And let's look at the calendars if you want. I mean, Elche has left to play against Alaves, Cadiz, and Athletic Bilbao, and I think that calendar is kind of okay. Alaves has left to play against Elche, Granada, and Sevilla. So Alaves knows that the easiest game they've got left is probably against Elche, even though Granada has very little to play for in their next game. So as I said, the draw in the first half is something I back here. I don't think that this is very speculative. And then the Asian handicap -1 for either side is something that gives you so much value that I find pertinent and worth flagging. Look, the Asian handicap -1 for Elche gives you 11.50. But you should know something. If you had backed an Asian handicap of -1 for Elche throughout every game of the entire season, you would have won only once. Normally Elche doesn't win for a 2-goal margin. You should know that. But anyway, if you go for the Asian handicap -1 for Elche, there is a really good value there. It's 11.50. And if you go for the Asian handicap -1 for Alaves, again, I don't think that this is going to happen, but it's worth flagging it, no? That gives you 9.80. By the way, an Asian handicap -1 for Alaves this season would have given you the full money only once in the season, because they beat Valladolid by more than 2 goals, or by 2 goals, but they never beat anybody else for that margin.
Then let's stay probably with that first half draw. Looked like a good for me, with two teams that again they are fighting for staying in La Liga. And the last game we have on Tuesday, Levante Barça. Again, Álvaro, a little bit disappointing. Probably Barcelona playing against a big team like Atletico this season, goalless draw. You said it at the beginning. Now they are third, so they need Atletico and Real Madrid to drop points for them to have a chance to win La Liga title. Although they have an easy calendar, also this game should be easy against a Levante team that got a point against Alaves, is true, but they were coming from 5 straight defeats, and their season, as we've been saying week after week, is completely done.
Yes, I know. I think Levante has been one of those clubs that let it go. That doesn't speak well of the players. It doesn't speak well of Paco, the manager, because at the end of the day, to keep the ambition going on is something that a manager has to do, and he hasn't been able to do it for one reason or another. I'm not in that training camp, I'm not in that locker room, but the team hasn't been able to do it, and it's very disappointing. Barcelona, this season, they've got left to play against Levante this Tuesday, against Celta, and against Eibar. By the way, the games against Eibar could be more complicated than we would have expected, because Eibar, they are still in the relegation battle, even though maybe in 2 weeks they are not. But what I mean with all this is that never take as granted a calendar, an easy calendar or a difficult calendar, because things may happen in between that could change a team's approach. And I think that we all thought that Eibar was going to be probably relegated by game week 38, and they might not be, and therefore that game could be difficult for Barcelona. Look, looking at the game against Levante, Barcelona has been pretty much symmetric when it comes to away and home. The record at home is 38 points. The record away is 37 points. They are playing Levante, who got only 1 point out of the last 15. So here I have to go for Barcelona to win, just because they need it more and because they are a better team. Winning for Barcelona is not good enough in terms of the return you are getting, but the win 2-0 for Barcelona is alright. That pays 263. We are all aware of Barcelona's defensive problems, but they didn't concede a goal against Atletico, and Levante has not scored in 3 of the last 5. So a win 2-0 for Barcelona is something I back here. And I think that this is the best return I can get. Maybe a nice handicap of 1 plus 75 for Levante, it's okay. That pays 206. If Levante wins, you win. If Levante draws, you win. If Levante loses by 1, you win as well. And if they lose by 2, you get half a lose. So the plus 171 The plus 175 for Levante is something that I could back here too.
Yep, not bad. Actually, if we think this is going to be a close game for Barcelona, as it was close, for instance, their last away victory in Mestalla against Valencia, a team like Valencia who are traveling on Wednesday to Sevilla with the new coach, with Boro. They got the salvation. They beat 3-0 Valladolid with Maxi Gomez scoring a brace. Good news for Valencia. It was a very difficult season with Javi Gracia on the bench, and with Sevilla, Álvaro, they are dropping points in their last minutes of the games. They lost against Athletic in the last minute. They got the draw with that shot of Toni Kroos against Real Madrid, but still Lopetegui's men are putting really good performances on the pitch, and these teams, for instance, also played in Copa del Rey, and Sevilla won that game easily. It's true that Valencia, they didn't play with the important players that game in Copa del Rey, and was a long time ago, but we can see how Sevilla is, of course, way stronger than Valencia.
Yeah, and they are the favorites, and I think that Sevilla against Real Madrid, they were good until they scored the first goal, and then I believe that Real Madrid was much better than Sevilla. For this game, this is tricky because there is a new factor here. Valencia is playing with no pressure for the first time in the season. No one is contesting Boro. He's a man of harmony at Valencia. They won't be relegated. So this is a new situation for Valencia, and this obviously is a factor that is unknown for all of us. We don't know how this is going to play out. But what I do know is that Sevilla, they are very good defensively still. They conceded 2 goals against Real Madrid, but that's part of the winning and losing process. I mean, if you play against Real Madrid, that can happen. But against Athletic Bilbao, for example, they were very good defensively, and they only scored in the last. They only conceded in the last minute when Iñaki Williams had that counter-attack because Sevilla needed to win, and they lost a little bit the plot. But generally speaking, Sevilla are a good team defensively, even though I have to say that I've been slightly disappointed with Jules Koundé in the last games. I think that 3-4 months ago he was considered the best young defender in La Liga, and that was right, a right assessment. But in the last games he doesn't seem to be so solid, and he's been suffering pretty much ever since Sevilla lost against Borussia Dortmund when Erling Haaland got the better of him. So for this game, I'm going for the following. I think Sevilla plays very well in the first half, normally, and they've got a very good approach to the games from the beginning, from minute number 1. So Sevilla to win the first half is something that I could believe in, that pays 2.12. And even a clean sheet for Sevilla. I know that Valencia scored 3 goals in the last game, but none of their strikers are particularly impressive. So a clean sheet for Sevilla pays 2.20, and this is another one that I would back.
Then let's move on to Vigo, to Balaidos, Celta, Getafe still in trouble. They are not able to win those 2 games that put them out of the relegation danger. They lost even to Eibar at home, so 4 points from relegation zone. Luckily for them, they face Levante, Granada, teams that have nothing to play for, so maybe they can collect their points in these 2 games, because this one won't be easy. Celta, they are in form, beat 2-4 Villarreal, Santimina scoring a brace, and now 3 straight victories. And I'm surprised to see the odds for Celta's victory so high, 2.66. I think this is a good option for us.
I'm backing it completely. I like what Chacha Coudet has done at Celta. I think that some players, the quality players actually, have improved under him because he likes to play free-flowing football, and the likes of Denis Suarez or Brais Méndez, who are very good midfielders. In fact, Brais Méndez, let's not forget, he played for Spain under Luis Enrique for a couple of games. Those players are stepping up. So I think that Celta is one of the improved teams of the season, especially since the manager arrived. And probably for next season, from the beginning, we should consider Celta a candidate to qualify at least for the Conference League, because this season under Coudet, they've done very well. Yeah, I like that one. I think that the Celta to win is good, and I had spotted the Asian handicap -1 for Celta here. That pays 4.20 as well, and it's a very nice one too. Let's don't forget that Celta at home, they are capable of the best. There is also something that I do like here, the both teams to score thing, because Celta defensively, they are okay, more or less. I know that Getafe didn't score a lot this season, but they need to win, they need to score, especially they need to recover after losing to Eibar, which is something that no one expected. So both teams to score is something I back personally for this game. That doubles up your bet, and I'm going to keep it even for the Asian handicap because I find this very likely to happen.
Getafe really in trouble. Huesca also, of course, in trouble, but we expected that. Actually, we expected probably that they were relegated by now, but they have a chance to stay away from the relegation zone if they win, if they beat Athletic Club. I'm also surprised, Alvaro, to see the odds here because Huesca is favorite, 2.68, whereas Athletic's victory is 3.07. Athletic, they got a draw against Osasuna, but they are in a good run. 5 undefeated games, whereas Huesca, well, they've been struggling the whole season. They lost to Cadiz. Their last home game was a victory against Real Sociedad, but again, it's a team that, in my opinion, we shouldn't trust with these odds. Actually, I trust much more Marcelino's men.
I think so too. I put it all down to the fact that Athletic Bilbao is pretty much playing for nothing, just for their pride, and probably every individual players they would like to impress the manager for this game. Whereas Huesca, they are certainly playing for something. I mean, they are at the minute 18th on the table. They are 1 point away from safety, to make sure that they get a little bit of an advantage over the relegation zone. So I put it down to that. I think that Huesca this season, they have managed to get to this stage, still staying in Primera Division. And this is probably the biggest testament to the manager Pacheta, the fact that Huesca is not relegated by game week 36. I think that Athletic, they are favourite for this game. They haven't lost in the last 5, and they haven't lost away in the last 4. That tells you that little by little under Marcelino, they have recovered from the cup finals disappointments after losing against Real Sociedad and against Barcelona. Athletic Bilbao is far from being a reliable team defensively still. I think that there is a lot of work to do. And I think that for this game, I'm going to go for Athletic Club to win. That is good enough, in my opinion. I mean, the odds for Los Leones to get a win is 3. That's fantastic. And for example, if you want to be slightly more conservative, the Asian handicap of minus 0.25 for Athletic Club is good as well. If they win, you win. If they draw, that's half a lose for you, or half a win, depending on how you see it. That pays 250.
Yeah, I really like the odds here for Athletic as well. We agree, Alvaro, on the last game we have on Wednesday. Very decisive for the La Liga title. Atletico Madrid, Real Sociedad won't be easy for Atletico. Real Sociedad beat Elche 2-0. Oyarzabal scoring again. 3 victories in the last 4 games for Real Sociedad, whereas Atletico, is true that at home they are more reliable. The last 4 games were victories. Also, they showed a good image against Barca away, and is in their hand 3 games to go to win the title. And the odds actually for an Atletico victory, not that bad, 1.83, but in my opinion, be careful with Real Sociedad.
I'm keeping that one for the Asian handicap, the home win. I think that if you put it all together with another 3 scores, it's a very attractive odd. Look, Real Sociedad this season, they've been, I don't want to say a flat track bully, because they are not a bully even. And I think that they are basically beating more or less comfortably the teams in the region, or the teams that have more or less their level, or a little bit less. But the truth is that against the top teams this season, they haven't beaten anybody. I mean, they haven't beaten Sevilla, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico this season. They are struggling to get a result in these big games, you know. And this is the reason why Sevilla, Barcelona, Atletico and Real Madrid, they qualified for the Champions League before the beginning of May. Real Sociedad hasn't been able to keep track with them. A home win, as you said before, is okay. It's good enough. 183. I like the clean sheet for Atletico. You know, a classic of my choice. A clean sheet for Atletico pays 220. A win to nil for Atletico pays 285. I was impressed with the first half they played against Barcelona. I think that there were a couple of really good chances for them in that game, just to kill the game. And Atletico, they are still, I wouldn't say the favourites to win La Liga, because it's difficult to say this when Atletico has dropped so many points in the second half of the season. But the league is in their hands, and they know that winning at home or beating at home Real Sociedad is part of the process to become champions for the first time since 2014. So I don't see them here missing the chance. I think that Atletico is going to win this game.
Atletico, very important game at the Metropolitano. After this, they have Osasuna and Valladolid. If they win all 3 games, they are champions. Again, Valladolid, a team that won't be easy to beat for Atletico when the time comes, because they will fight most probably to stay in Primera Division. They lost 3-0 with Valencia, only 1 point above relegation, and they were coming from 6 consecutive draws, a team that it's very difficult for them to win lately, and now they face Villarreal. Alvaro, I think we could expect this Villarreal knowing the level after the qualification for the Europa League final. They lost 2-4 with Celta. I don't know if they are going to be relaxed in these last games of the season in La Liga, just preparing the Europa League final, or they will bounce back against Valladolid and put a fight for sure. The odds are quite low for a Villarreal victory, but still okay. 2.25. If you trust Valladolid to get something out of this game, actually you have good odds.
Yeah, I'm going to be a little bit strange or a little bit singular in this game. I think that Villarreal right now is difficult to predict. Look, I think that this is, what I'm going to say now is an example of how difficult it is to predict it. Villarreal, next season, they could be playing in the Champions League, they could be playing the Europa League, they could be playing in the Conference League, or basically they could miss out European football. This is how open the situation is for Villarreal right now. Have they done a good season? Definitely, yes, especially in Europe. Domestically, they haven't improved a lot in comparison to what they were last season. There are a couple of misses at Villarreal that are going to be missed. Because I think that, for example, Samu Chukwueze, he will not be with the group until the end of the season. He is likely to miss the Europa League final. Then Juan Foyth is still out, and he gives an option for the right back and the centre back position. They are still missing Vicente Iborra, so this is a short squad, and you know, it's not great for them to be missing players at this stage of the season because the team is tired. I think that Valladolid, however, we cannot trust them a lot. I mean, they haven't won in their last 8 games. They have played 4 games at home in a row without winning. This is the state of Valladolid at this stage. And they are still hanging there and making sure that they stay out of the relegation zone, only because they are getting draws here and there. They got 4 draws in the last 5 games. But are Valladolid very reliable, or are they reliable enough for us to think that they are going to win this game? I really don't think so. So I'm going for the following. A first half draw is something I fancy here. That pays 2.15. And if you want to get an extra value for your money, maybe the 0-0 in the first half is something that I put back here to 2.80.
Draw. Then for you in the first half in Zorrilla. Then we have Eibar Betis. Eibar, they are coming from the dead. Actually, we thought they were going to be in Segunda by now, but back-to-back victories against Getafe and Alaves, and they are there, still alive, but they have a very difficult calendar. Betis now, Valencia and Barcelona are their next rivals, only 2 points away from salvation, even if they are in the bottom of the table. This is how compact, how level is the situation in the bottom of the table also in La Liga. And Betis, Alvaro, they are playing tonight against Granada. Is a team that is drawing a lot lately, draws in the last 5 games. Let's see also what happened today with Granada, and here actually the bookies expect a draw. Yeah,
and me too. I think that Betis is a team that strangely at the beginning of the season they didn't draw, and now they are drawing a lot. Eibar, well, what a rebirth they have had. They beat Alaves and Getafe in the last 2 games, and suddenly they are in there again. Let's don't forget that this is a team that looked like by mid-May they were going to be relegated already, and they got 29 points. They are 2-3 points out of safety. Look, for this game I'm going to back the draw. As you well said before, the bookies are expecting that, and personally I think that that's very reasonable. The first half draw already gives you 2.14. I'm going for the full-time draw. That pays 3.45, and if you have a little bit of a belief on Betis, well, then you can consider the Asian handicap 0 for them. That pays 1.91.
Yeah, this is not bad actually as well. The Asian handicap 0 for Betis, but Betis also is a team so difficult to predict during the whole season. Still they are fighting, remember, to qualify for the Europa League. And the last game on Thursday, also very important for sure for La Liga title race. Granada, Real Madrid. Granada playing again tonight against Betis, lost to Cadiz in their last game, and Real Madrid, Álvaro, they are so angry with the referee, even Zidane after that draw, controversial penalty against Sevilla. The thing is that the team, they don't have gasoline, that's for sure. They are super tired also after the knockout of the Champions League. Zidane made some changes, put some fresh legs, even Marcelo, Odriozola, these kind of players that they are not playing a lot this season, but considering that Mendy or Carvajal, for instance, they are not fit, is the option now. They have to win or win in Los Cármenes.
Yes, I know, and I think they will. Real Madrid to win this game, to win 2-0, that is my favorite bet here. That pays 250. If we learned anything last Sunday when they drew against Sevilla, is that it's preferable to play a player who is fit than a top star who is not completely fit. Why am I saying this? Because at Stamford Bridge, Zinedine Zidane played a number of players that they were not 100%, and I think that the team weren't able to express themselves. They were not exuberant at all. And against Sevilla, the likes of Odriozola, for example, who seems to be a player that Zidane doesn't seem to trust a lot. Well, at least he's fully fit, and he made a very good game. And I think that Zidane, hopefully he has learned, and he will probably check the sidelines, and he will say, well, who can give me his best physical performance? And that player will play against Granada. I believe that when it comes to the hand of Militao, hand or not, well, I was reading the rule book. It is a handball if you read one line of the rule book. It is not a handball if you read another one. So the rule book is a little bit contradictory as well. But I like Zidane after the game because he was saying he wasn't happy with the refereeing, which I find a very natural reaction. But he never hinted that there was a conspiration or some witch hunt against Real Madrid, and I like that because I believe that referees make mistakes like anybody else. For this game, we know that Granada, they are already safe. It's been another very good season for them. I think that Real Madrid are going to be much more motivated for this game. They know that the winning La Liga is not in their hand, but at the same time, Atletico Madrid has a difficult calendar. In fact, if Atletico drops points against Real Sociedad, Real Madrid will attack this game against Granada, knowing that the win will put them up front, top of the table. So I like Madrid to win 2-0 to start with, and Madrid to win the first half, because I believe that they will start the game really motivated. That pays 206, and that's something I back as well.
Let's see if they can still stay in the title race. They have to beat Granada for sure. Then, well, only 3 games to go now in La Liga. We've analyzed all 10 games. And Álvaro, I'm sure you have an ACCA also for these midweek games.
Yes, altogether it will be 11 pounds, euros, dollars. So both teams to score in the Osasuna Cadiz. Both teams to score in the Celta Getafe game. A home win for Atletico de Madrid against Real Sociedad, and Real Madrid to be the first team to score against Granada. That pays 11 pounds.
Okay, then Álvaro, thank you, and for sure on Friday we will see each other for a live video to analyze the not the last one but the previous one, match day in this La Liga. Thank you, and see you this week.
Thank you, Edu. It's been a pleasure.
We have now all the information to bet in these midweek games. Let me know what you think about Álvaro's tip in the comment section, and you will have also the chance to win a £10 free bet with Novibet. And do not forget to click on the like button if you enjoy our videos, subscribe to our channel, and click on the bell to get all the notifications. And also we have a podcast for you in case you want to listen to all our videos in our podcast. Next Friday we are back. We are going to analyze also the next match day.